Don't worry, guys. If you make it out of here alive, I'm sending you to a much nicer place.
Oh, wonderful!
That's nice. That's nice.
That's
Yeah.
nice. It's from getting here to there. That's the trick.
That's the trick. Yeah.
You'll be able to buy pants.
Wearing
I can
pants.
buy pants now.
Who needs pants?
You're going to be made fun of for your lack of pants. Anyway,
We have pants, don't we?
you have thongs.
We are a desert people. We have pants.
Basically, what he's trying to imply is that if he does not get this mask back to this gentleman, then Odin's word is not worth really a lot.
that is fair. Yeah.
Which is really bad.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
very
She's
bad.
gonna get some bad Yelp reviews.
It's like the word of Odin on fate. Yelp reviews.
It's like
1 out of 5 stars.
Great food. Stuff gets stolen though.
Well,
Service is okay. I want to imagine that just like somebody, just like there's a Yelp page about Odin, and there's just like internet trolls just writing a really bad review.
Odin
can't keep an eye on one mask.
Oh.
He's only got one.
But by internet trolls, you totally mean frost giants, right?
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
100%. But I'm just now
Like,
just
this
imagining
guy's a total
frost
frost giant.
on the internet.
Okay. What was that, Sam?
The audience is cheering a lot for Howie. There's a lot of like really good ones. It's Howie, Wowie, Howie, Howie, Zowie, Break the Douchador.
Door! Oh my god! I love it.
Yes!
Oh, I want that on his
How many
shirt
people-
now.
welcome back everyone to D20 Live. I'm back in the GM's chair again, and I'm looking forward to this particular session. We are returning to telling stories and having adventures in the grim dark of the far future, though perhaps not so grim this time. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're taking adventures in only war. All my players are going to be guardsmen. They'll be introducing themselves in a moment, but first, a scene to set the stage. All of you see in a large imperial room, in front behind an imperious desk. How many times can I use this word imperious in a sentence? We'll see.
Every time for the Emperor.
For the Emperor. You see a man who's partially bald on top, but with hair wrapping around two little white spots along the side, and a long but well-maintained beard, lots of tassels, lots of iconography and medals indicating the status of High General Janus Calcus Simonis, who is letting in an individual who's going to be giving him a latest casualty report on the planet of Ceratops. This tribesman is bedecked in leathers, in chains. He has a sword at his side, and basically it looked as if he's walking in off of a Mad Max set, but has a single lasgun because he's a tribesman who has earned a lasgun. His name is Loken, and he has a boomstick. He has a shotgun as well. So, the general turns towards him. All right, Loken, give it to me. What has been going on?
Honorable Battle Lord, first of all, we thank you for the mighty Thunder Swords, which we have now renamed your las guns because it's good for morale, and also because we call ourselves the Thunderfuckers. So you must know, in the last engagement, we lost...
You've named yourselves? You've named yourselves now? What did you call yourselves?
The Thunderfuckers, sir. We feel it invokes our methodology and physical preferences. Anyway, in our last military engagement, due to the fact that we expected lasguns to have kickback, and they did not, because they are lasers, we shot each other 47 times before we actually successfully targeted the enemy. However, because of that, we realized that the dead men's guns we could use, but lasguns are not weapons you can hold in either hand. So, in our attempts to hold them both in either hand and between our thighs, ended in more of our own fatalities, before the enemy reached the second hill before us. Thankfully, we got into shotgun range, but because many of us had fallen down and tried to use our allies for cover, they proceeded to step on us.
Right. So you shot yourselves,
yes.
Fell back,
yes.
Used your own men as cover.
Yes.
The enemy stepped over that cover and caused more casualties.
Yes, sir. It was a rousing success and far better than any other military engagement we've ever had.
That actually sounds pretty standard. Well done, soldier.
Thank you.
All right. Give me the casualties. He holds out his hand for a report.
Would it be fast? Sir, I would be honest to say it would be faster to give you the non-casualties list.
Well, shit. Okay. Well, we're getting a replacement in. We're getting the 156th ist 156th in soon enough. So whenever they're here, I will have them. I'll have you introduced to them, and we'll go from there.
What are the names of this fine regiment?
The 156th Ballistic Vehicle Shock Trooper Regiment. Beeves is what they're named. Or Beef Boys, whichever you prefer.
I like that. There's an economy to their name.
There is, yes. I'm not sure who came up with that acronym. It's fucking ridiculous, but I like it still. So you may call them the Beeves, the Beef Boys, whatever you want.
I will call them the Beeves to respect the lack of ease to slow them down.
Excellent. Well, get out of here. The Thunderhawk is arriving, and best of luck in the next engagement. We will find General Hecaton. Excellent. Dismissed. So, a Thunderhawk touches down into the main area of bay of Epsilon 12, which is a forward base on the forward base on the world of Ceratops. And as the Thunderhawk lands and the outer doors are dropping, all of you hear your commander your commander call out from the inside. Right, all you worthless sons of Tech Drag Pawn scum! If you don't get your ass out of the Thunderhawk right now, and in 20 lines, I will personally shit kick every Hive World arse I see before my eyes. Move it, move it.
I'm from a fortress world. What's he talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. Did he forget we're a fortress world, not a Hive World?
Well,
I don't forget anything! We are going towards glory! Doesn't matter whether you're from a fortress world, or Hive World, or Feral World, or Death World. It will be for death and glory!
Are you questioning me, boy?
Are you questioning me? No. Do I need to shit kick your Hive World, Feral World, Fortress World eyes?
He's gonna kick the world.
Out! So all of you leave the Thunderhawk in due course. And arrive out at Epsilon 12, the forward base of this particular planet, and make your way out among the already present Imperial Guard Regiment, which is essentially made up of, best you can tell, a whole bunch of tribal warriors. There's not a single bit of flak armor among them. It's basically all made out of local individuals that have leathers and hides and some bits of chainmail, some laser lances here and there, but mostly swords and wooden spears. Every now and then you see a lasgun, but by and large they're there. And the other thing that you do notice is a lot of them have bikes. A lot of bikes that are bedecked with like grisly adornments and
like bicycles. Bikes.
When you say bikes, do you mean like a proper 40K wide boy tire bikes, or do they have like easy riders and shit tier scrap full throttle style bikes? Is my question.
So the setting will give you a bit of an answer to that. As you look around and take in this space, you see lush forests and high mountain peaks in the distance. But set against the high mountain peaks, even at this distance, because they are very large pieces of architecture, you're sort of in a valley between two hive cities that are put into the side of the mountain. And you know that this world, only in the past few years, has returned to the Imperium after being put in warp storms for nigh on 400 years. So clearly, since they were cut off from any resourcing and any Imperial other outposts, they have ransacked the hive city and built motorbikes.
Okay, so they're motorbikes, though.
They're motorbikes. So they're all motorbikes that have been bedecked in grisly-looking victims that they previously had, weapons that are shoved here, there, and everywhere, chains that rattle behind them, and all that sort of thing. Basically, every soldier has their own combat bike or combat bike with a sidecar. None of them really have any firearms. They very clearly ride through this place with swords and lances and chainmail.
Okay.
Truly dishonorable to ride in the sidecar of one of these bikes.
So, as you are taking in all of this, a runner approaches you, a youngling clearly among these people, half of his head shaved, the other half tied back in a series of dreadlocks down past his shoulders. He gives what you think to be the Imperial salute, though he's doing it wrong. Instead of actually crossing his arms, he puts one arm on each shoulder and gives you a bad bow. But he's trying his best, damn it. And it says, the commander is like, are you the and he fiddles around, pulls a data slate out and rotates it multiple times while looking at it upside down and says, the Beef Boys?
Aye, son, that's us.
Excellent. And the commander calls down, yes, this is the 156th Regiment of the Beef Boys, the Beeves.
Yeah,
what do you need?
We're not the Beef Boys. Why did he call us that?
But it says here, sir. That that's an acronym. I'm so sorry. That's a nickname. I apologize, soldiers. The commander is.
Right, you're sorry. That's a nickname, guys. Since when?
Oh, I didn't put it on the list.
You see my guy just laughing his ass off at the side.
Yeah,
wasn't me.
The four of us in a
totally.
game. This is exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Basically.
The prefect is the prefect is waiting for you, or actually no, they're named after the prefects. The colonel is waiting for you, sirs. This way. And your regiment is slowly unloading as you, being the essentially you have your you have your commander, and you are his primary staff, Jordan's character is one of the commanders of the squadrons. You're the main command staff of this particular squadron. So you and several other squadrons are all being led off to a command tent. And once at the command tent, you look inside, and the first thing that you notice when you arrive in this command tent is a man standing behind his desk, bedecked with maps and canteens and various other soldierly accoutrements. And this man is large enough, and maybe he was mothered by an ogre. You're really not sure. His bald head is like scar-pocked, and his head is as massive as his shoulders. But the rest of him, aside from this like muscled neck, big bald head, muscled shoulders, muscled arms, he's barrel-chested, he's beer-bellied, and he clearly has skipped leg day ever since his deployment. So it's just this very large inverted triangle of a man walking around on
like Dr. Robotnik.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit, boys. We got ourselves a Sam Squatch.
If Devin could do Robotnik's voice in any way, that will literally make this go over about 1,000,000 times better.
Oh, that was a pretty good
You may be seated. Well, you may be seated. And he indicates it at the bellows, indicating sections for, at the very least, your sergeant to stand, but the rest of you, it's large enough for your sergeant's support staff to all line up behind him while he sits. We have a mission briefing to go over. I am Colonel of the 37th Grand Old Prefects Lackhorn Hill Climbers, and I welcome you to Centrios. For the duration of this mission, I'll be your field commander. And he points at the desk containing several large maps. All of you sit. And as you have sit, the planet Centrios and the battle for it has not been going well. You notice that the map has dozens of small little black X's on it. Yeah. And troop deployments and movements and so forth. There's two large lines that have been sort of scrawled across this map. There have been several battles that have not gone well for the hill climbers. Here, and he indicates the different black X's. The Severin dominant forces on this planet have been waging a brutal guerrilla campaign against us. But we think that we have found the man responsible. Imperial intelligence believes that this man is located here in this mountain range, and he points near to one of the two long red lines, near a mountain range, it looks like. His name is General Hakaton. He is an old Astra Militarum general who has taken the regiment that once served here and renamed them the Severin Dominant. They have been heretics who have been fighting against the imperial reclamation efforts of this world. Here, and he points at at another long line that on the map appears to only be like a hand's breadth away from the other red line, is our front line. This, pointing to the other one, is the enemy front line. In between is no man's land. And what we believe is he is held up here behind the enemy lines. And if we can get to him, we can severely limit their efforts here on Centros. You as being drop troops, yes? You are drop troops, right? That's what I was told.
Aye, sir.
Excellent. So you as being drop troops are going to be dropped here. As close as we can, and he points his finger pretty much at just on the opposite side of your front line. Mm-hmm. And it's like, being drop troops, you'll be able to advance a decent space into no man's land without being seen. But from there, you'll need to advance through no man's land to their base. Your mission is to assassinate the general. I'll make no bones.
Sorry. Sorry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will make no bones about it. This will not be an easy mission. It will be dangerous. You're to assassinate the general, and you're to do it as carefully as possible. because there's great enemy enforcement in the area. Try to stay.
I turn to one of my comments like, does he think we're Space Marines?
I'm actually excited to be here.
Do that?
I think we can. I'm just delighted to be trying.
Like waving at them like children in church. Like, shh.
We are going to cut off the head of the snake, and in thus doing, and in so doing, we will end this war right here. So you'll be dropped into the zone with any equipment that you have requisitioned. You'll make your way through. You will sneak into the base. You will assassinate him and get the hell out of there. Am I understood? And he's looking specifically at the sergeant.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Excellent. So, make your way to the requisition officer and the quartermaster, and they will get you set up with the equipment that we've managed to set aside for this particular mission. And good luck in his name.
Who's
the Emperor?
For the Emperor!
Oh yes, for the Emperor. Yes.
Right,
So-
that thing we do.
Yes. Well, normally
So,
when we
for this mission, your primary mission, just so I'm not doing that, to reiterate, is to locate and either capture or kill General Hecaton of the Severin Dominant. The Severin Dominant being the group of individuals who have been fighting the Imperium in this area. And secondary mission is to disrupt supply lines and destroy any forces that you may encounter. And lastly, for throne's sake, maintain calm silence as much as possible outside of your local group, because if you break calm silence, they'll know where the hell you are, and that will probably make things a lot harder for you.
Yeah.
So, those are your primary, secondary, and general missions. Before you start off on any only war game, you make a requisitions test. So I need one of you, whoever is trained or has basic, trained is probably better, in logistics. Put up their hand.
It's not even on the sheet.
Not even on the sergeant.
Logistics.
There's logic.
Yeah, and linguistics.
Linguistics.
I don't have either, but you know.
I have command.
Substitute command for that. That's fine. Okay. We'll start with the command roll. Given that the war condition on this planet is at a violent impasse, which gives you a bit of a negative, but this is a vital mission. It gives you a bit of a positive. Overall, this turns into a +10 to your roll. So go ahead and make a command roll with a +10 bonus, and tell me what you get.
Okay, so I already have a +10 to my command because I put some points into it.
So that's my modifiers, and then you add any of yours. So this turns into an ordinary command test, so a +10, and then you add any modifiers you have.
So then it's probably like a +20 then. Mm-hmm. And so I roll what +20?
It's going to be command. So that will be your fellowship. It's a fellowship-based test.
Okay.
+20.
Okay, so roll 100.
Okay. And what are you looking for? What's the number you're looking for?
So I need under 60. I know I wrote to roll under 62 then.
Yes. Yeah, because you have a 42 base probably?
Yes.
Yep, so you need to roll under 62.
Okay. I rolled a 17.
Oh, with a lot of degrees of success. Very nicely done.
Hey.
Okay. All right.
Can I get a centurion, please?
Centurion.
Some Centurion armor and some Graviton weapons, please, sir. So you approach the quartermaster, and based on the success of that roll, I'm actually going to give you a few more things. This can be recorded on anyone's sheet, sergeant maybe, since he's the one who's doing the requisition. I'll give you a signal jammer, which would be good for helping minimize any comms that you come across of the dominant. And I'll give you based on that result, I'll give you a missile launcher with 2 of each frag and crack missiles.
Okay, I'm going to give that to our heavy gunner.
And I need all of you to make awareness, please. As you're standing there talking to the quartermaster, just taking in what's around you. It's going to be an ordinary awareness test, so go ahead and roll that with a +10 to your awareness.
So if we're untrained in awareness, it's just our perception then?
Just your perception.
Okay.
Correct. Yep, just your perception. And again, degrees of success matter here. So if you get, there we go. Yep, 1 success. Very nice. So if you roll equal to or less than your stat, you've got a single degree of success. For every 10 that you are under your stat, that's an additional degree of success. So just let me know how many degrees each of you get.
I failed hard.
You really did.
I had to roll under a 38.
In fact, I think that's good timing. So while we're resolving these rolls, Tom, would you like to describe exactly why probably you failed so miserably? Tell us about your character, his personality traits, and his name.
Yeah, so my character's name is Rathgar. He is the heavy weapons expert, the heavy gunner of the squad, and he's oblivious. That is his demeanor.
So you have a heavy gunner with the most dangerous guns.
Things that everyone else sees, the whole squad sees it, I have no clue what they're talking about. They have to tell me, hey, it's right there. What? Really? I have no idea. So I've been acting like I have no idea what's going on. I'm playing my character.
And your dice are agreeing with you. Mike, please describe your character.
Well, my character's name is Notch. He's been described as incompetent. So, as he's looking out into the field, just kind of taking things in, he's just not telling anyone what he sees. So he's just sort of nodding, going, well, that's there, all right. I haven't quite settled on a voice and demeanor yet, but it'll come to me.
It'll come to you, all right. And we'll move on to Dave.
Hey. So, my character that I'm playing is Keir Sloan. You can just call him Sloan.
Sloan?
He joined up to drive things.
Because he likes driving things?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hadn't actually decided on his demeanor, but he's...
It can come to you like Mike's name is, or not personality, but voice is going to come to him.
Yeah. It's not quite
excellent. And last but not least, Jordan, who are you playing today?
My character's name is Elman Cardon, or Sergeant Cardon. He is a pretty rad dude. He's gonna be the leader of these guys for this session, and hopefully we can get through it alive. I don't have a lot of faith, but you know,
you're the sergeant and the leader of the Beefy Boys, are you?
Leader of the Beefy Boys.
Excellent. Okay.
Beefy Boys.
So Notch succeeded, but he's not telling anyone that he succeeded. Let's see. Sloan, you rolled a 32, but what's your perception?
It's 38.
38. So you succeeded with 1 degree. And Sergeant, what did you succeed by?
Oh, I didn't roll.
Yeah, you rolled a 17, didn't you? Or was that different? Oh no, that was your logistics roll. Yes, roll your awareness.
I rolled an 11 under. What would that be? Perception?
Perception, yes.
38, so 2 degrees.
So 2 degrees. So between yourself and Sloan, you think that the other two are completely oblivious and ignorant to what you're seeing. Notch.
I look over. Tom's got his finger in his nose. I was like, okay, cool.
What was that?
Yeah, exactly.
As the missile launcher is put on the table and some ordnance is being placed on the table, Sloan.
Yeah,
there's
my girl.
It's always great.
If I had a rocket launcher shaped dress, I'd take it to the prom.
Oh, this is gonna get greasy, boys.
So, with that, the two of you, Sloan and Cardon, you do see that around the back of the quartermasters, broken down, slightly damaged. Sloan, you in particular, catches your eye because you can actually pick out bits and pieces of what might be wrong with it. You see a broken down, slightly damaged Chimera land transport.
Yay! We don't have to walk.
We may not have to walk.
So, with that, he seems to the quartermaster just seems to be fixing it. It needs a little bit of work, a little bit of spit shine, and some blessed oil put onto it. But maybe you could try and convince him to part ways with this. What would the two of you like to do? While your other two oblivious members haven't said anything or done anything.
Oblivious. I saw it. I just don't know what I saw.
You just don't know what you saw. Okay.
Hey, bud. Yeah. You need some help with that Chimera land transport?
Hey? What's that? What, that? There?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't get that. What do you mean you get... No. I gave you a missile launcher. That's good enough. And I gave you a whole bunch of missiles. You're lucky I give you missiles with a missile launcher. We don't always do that.
Now, I was saying, do you need some help with your chimera?
Why? What good are you to me?
Showing off my shiny operator pip on my uniform.
He leans in, squinting. Ah, you're a smart guy, are you? Oh, yes. All right. I'm a little busy. But if you can actually get that up and going, I may consider... Are you headed out on a mission?
No. Yes.
Oh. I see what you were doing there. Very clever, yes. Yeah. Give it a little spit shine there, friend. Show me what you can do with it, and maybe I'll consider letting you part with it. If your sergeant can convince me.
Would this be under tech
For
use,
you,
or...
you need to use a tech use.
Okay. So
and since you've had plenty of experience with this, I'll make it a routine, which means a plus 20 for the situation, and then any other modifiers that you have.
Okay, so I've got 41 intelligence, plus 10 for my tech use because I spent 300 getting it there.
Okay.
So that's
that was a lot of points.
Plus
so,
20.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's 50, 60, 71.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. I got
29. Okay.
Under 71.
So you're pretty confident.
You past it turns on. It's like, yep, that's how good I am.
No, he walks over like the Fonzus goes, boom, and hits it on the side. Boots up.
Punch the tank
Hold on. I see this and go, when did you learn the right of percussive maintenance?
I've always known technical knock.
The chimeras.
By the Emperor.
By the Emperor. And like you hear while the rest of you are inside, the sputtering roar of the spirit of the chimera starts up, and he looks outside. The quartermaster looks outside. Yeah, he's not bad. So you, and turning to the sergeant, you want it?
Want it? The Emperor requires it.
Does he?
While you two are talking, I'm opening up the hood and I'm using my combi tool to adjust the timing. Because of course, it's got a carburetor.
So I want you to give me one last roll there, Sergeant. I want you to give me a. It's going to be a fellowship roll. It's going to be a difficult one. So minus 10 base.
Okay.
But if you have any relevant skills like charm or deceive, well, not deceive, it would be charm or command or anything associated that way. Okay, so the situation is at a minus 10, but you can add any bonuses to your skills that you have.
I have knowledge Imperium as well, so knowledge guard.
Yeah.
So I would kind of know what the requisition officer would be, kind of what he's able to kind of offer and give up, as opposed to what he claims he can offer and give up. So, I could do plus 10 plus 10.
Okay. Yep.
So just make a flat even D100 roll under 42.
Yep. Sounds good.
And slap. Damn it.
All right.
Shot him in the leg.
Now, you have a fate point if you would like to use it. There's only one of you that has 3 fate points, but each of the rest of you have 1.
I have one. I would like to. We need a ride, Devin.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and re-roll that. Hopefully, it works better this time for you.
It won't.
Oh man.
Okay, hold on. We have to change this somehow. What can I do?
Can I help intimidate him?
Okay, so you want to try and assist him? Sorry. Okay, so yeah, I'll Tom Tom first, and then Mike. So you said you wanted to try and assist through intimidate?
Yes.
Okay, and Mike, what were you just saying?
I have a way to help assist with the intimidation, but I want to do it if everything else fails.
So assist you'd have to do with and alongside. Well, okay. Describe for us how you're going to intimidate as part of this whole role, because it has to be part of his role.
Well,
so I'm gonna kind of look over my shoulders at them and just kind of like make like a psst, hey kind of noise.
Help me out here.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm walking over with my heavy stubber in my hands, kind
Just
of
holding it.
towards him, just holding it, but pointing it at him though. It's kind of just like, a slow guy walking, pointing a massive gun right at him.
Okay, and Notch.
I walk up to him and I say, because he's like the quartermaster, right?
He's the quartermaster, yes.
Quartermaster.
Yep.
I've got a problem with my grenade. Can you take a look at it? And I get him to hold it for a second. No, the pin's still in there.
And he looks at the grenade.
Yeah,
yes, standard.
It feels weird here. Can you hold it for me?
Standard issue seems to be, and he grabs it.
Cool. I pull the pin. Is there anything wrong with it now?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I switched characters halfway through the start, and this is what I'm rolling with now. Anyway,
so at this point, I'm behind the wheel and I'm revving the Chimera.
So, sir,
you guys coming?
Sir, we will return to you this pin for the low price of that Chimera.
Guys, can I? I'm really sorry. Can I be right back? I just have to run to the washroom real fast.
Sure, I'm doing.
Sure.
I think we got.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
keep going. That way.
Yep, go ahead. So we'll just say that that's an automatic success in the intimidate, because I like how you roleplayed that. And now I need an intimidate roll from you, Tom, since you did your thing technically before Notch did.
And so this will be under a 44.
So Rathgar, yeah, under
no.
Okay, all right. Still, that's it adds that. So he's gonna do one last roll, but with a 52. Actually, I'll make it a 62 because of adding the situational modifier of the additional grenade. I'm just gonna roll for him. We'll do it that way. So we're gonna roll a D100. Boop. 19. Okay.
Well, that's really good.
All right. So to move things along, he's like, all right, fine. You can take it. You look to be drop troops. Even there. Some cargo netting and chutes for the Chimera there. Take that too, so you can take it with you on the dropship. Just please put the pin back in. Emperor's, for throne's sake, put the pin back in.
Do you need me to take the grenade too, man?
Preferably.
Okay, sure. Here you go. I put the pin back in. It's like, you're a good guy. You're a good guy.
Oh, throne's sake.
He's wearing the right pants. He's wearing brown pants.
He's wearing brown pants. So you take the grenade back and leave, grabbing the grab chutes for the Chimera and the netting. Sloan, they come outside with all this equipment. Sergeant saying that patting the Chimera, taking this with us, and Notch hands you the chutes and the appropriate netting to allow the Chimera to drop from low orbit.
Nice. Jesus. So guys, I got an idea for when we land.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: we move this tank across no man's land. We're gonna get blown up all the way to hell and all that, right? But if we cover it in bushes,
camouflage, okay,
move very slowly.
Are we talking glacially here?
Wait, aren't we drop troops? Wouldn't we be like dropping in?
But once we're on the ground,
because you're dropping in the middle, they can't drop you behind enemy lines. They get shot down. They don't even want to drop you close to the enemy line because that's dangerous. So they're dropping you in the middle of no man's land, outside of the enemy front line or your front line.
Yeah, sorry, I am oblivious.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So we drop in front of our lines because that's the only place, and then we cover it in shrubs or before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Dave,
Okay.
what's your character's name again?
Sloan.
Sloan, what do you think?
Well, you see,
I'm trying to get my voice right. You see?
That's real greasy, boys. This thing, I thought this was more like, an APC, but this is kind of a tank.
We're going to need a lot of shrubs.
Yeah, but does it have a dozer blade on it?
Yeah.
It can. Chimeras can come with dozer blades.
But does it? Okay. But does it? Because then we might have to go get it.
Okay, let's do a 50-50. How about Sloan? You tell me high or low whether it has a dozer blade.
High.
High, it has a dozer blade.
Yeah.
61. It's got a dozer blade.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we could set this up.
Okay,
so this sucker up and drop it from orbit.
Yeah.
Ride it from hell.
Love it.
Right out.
Okay, all right.
Sarge's back. Sarge!
All I can think of is that scene from the A-Team when the tank drops out of a plane.
Sarge, we got a plan.
You got a I'm sorry, what happened?
We got a plan. So here we're going to do. We're going to cover it in shrubs. The ride, sir. The Chimera.
Oh, sorry, the voice change got me. Okay, sorry.
It happened naturally. I'm just riding with it. We're going to cover it in shrubs. So we're going to go very slowly, so the enemy just thinks it's a really big bush.
A really big, slow bush, yeah.
Slow-moving bush.
With motorized sounds coming out of it.
And who are we trying to fool with this?
Well, the enemy, sir. Or the allies. Who knows? If you can fool your allies and your enemies, then
you have the Emperor's blessing. That's it.
You're set. This is what's up. Okay. Yeah, we'll cover it in shrubs. Are we going to a planet that has shrubs?
this planet outside of the hive cities in the valley, since again it's been in warp storms for several hundred years, and the hive cities were abandoned at that time, so nature reclaimed it. So yeah, this planet has a mixture of open plains, some lush jungle, and mountainscapes that you're basically traversing through the no man's land in that regard.
Okay. So bushes are appropriate.
Yep, they are for certain sections. Yep.
Trust us to put bushes on us, and we're going to a desert planet or something.
Yep. It's going to be a single tumbleweed.
Trust us to do that.
You get it.
A mechanized tumbleweed going through a desert planet.
We're never going to take the shrubs off, but we're taking this Chimera with us.
Oh, no, that's happening. Whether with or without the quartermaster, it's coming with us.
Yeah. So you succeeded on your quartermaster roll while you were away, Sergeant.
Excellent.
I rolled for you. And as the day breaks...
I didn't see anything. I don't know what happened. He just suddenly started giving us this Chimera.
So you attach the grav chutes that he gave you and the cargo netting, the additional items that the quartermaster gave you, not wanting to get blown up by a crack grenade.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh, yes.
I have no idea. I saw nothing. I don't know what happened.
There rather unexpectedly, a crack grenade somehow ended up in the quartermaster's hand without a pin.
It had a pin, but it had a defect. Some bastard pulled it out on him, and
I was just about to admonish the quartermaster for not being saber with his tools.
Yes.
Clearly, he wasn't.
So you spend the evening finding bushes nearby, decorating it, getting everything put into place. And as day breaks, the forward outpost springs to life. Several companies and platoons shape up into marching out formation. The lines of tank and artillery of your regiment come to life and start making their way to your line and then past enemy lines. So while the tanks and line infantry and mechanized columns start making their way into the demilitarized zone, your Thunderhawk goes overhead with all of you inside. And
Huzzah.
About 70... What, sorry?
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And about 70 kilometers out from the outpost and about 120 kilometers from the enemy's front line, get ready for drop! The Thunderhawk drops at all of you. Jump out. Well, actually, no. You'd probably let the tank drop first because it's heavier.
We're not in the tank?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, wait. We have to jump into the tank after we've landed on the ground?
Well, the tank will land,
okay,
and then you're going to land in and around it, and then get into the tank if you want.
Okay.
If something goes wrong, you don't want to be inside several tons of steel that are falling. If something goes wrong with the grab chute, Probably not the best idea.
Fair enough.
Well, my character really didn't think of that, so he's just strapped into like the gunner's seat on the tank.
Yeah, I was securing grenades when they dropped us in the tank, so we're going down and going shit. We're going after the grenades.
I was doing cross checks in the driver's seat.
So what about you, Sergeant? Are you in the tank too?
No, I'm outside talking to somebody. And I just see them bottom out and disappear. Like, oh.
Yeah, that's us. Where'd my tank go? Where'd my men go? Where'd my tank go?
So, Sergeant... Oh, shit. Oh my god, okay. So, Sergeant, you hear... Get ready for drop. Drop is beginning. You turn to where you think your command staff are, and then the Chimera drops, and you're looking around. As the door closes, you're like, where'd my men go? Meanwhile, in the tank.
I'm just like, oh no, I dropped my clipboard or whatever. I just like throw my pack on and run for an exit. Like, what are you gonna do, right?
I believe what we're doing is called Force Recon.
Oh,
okay.
They say if we do it closer to home, it counts as a dishonorable discharge.
Oh.
All right, so I'll roll to see whether the graph chute's open.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Oh my god.
the rest of the drop troops all drop alongside again. So you're in a region of like 60, 70 other drop troops. We're only doing a micro focus on the wonderful command squad that is dropping in a tank right now, along with their sergeant. But there's 70 odd others that are all dropping in that are under your command sergeant. So you go with them. The accelerated just shy of a quarter of a G as you're going down. You know you can't catch up to the tank because that tank's dropping at nearly a full G, and you really hope those chutes actually open. Meanwhile, inside, for those who are and are not strapped in, and
yeah, I'm there grabbing grenades, going, guys, good news! I've got all the grenades.
And then as you are holding the grenades like this, suddenly a big lurch as the grav chutes engage and the tank is lurched upwards. So, Notch, you have all of these grenades that you're very excited to have when suddenly gravity jumps against you like you're jumping up in an elevator and suddenly gravity stops for you. So what do you do with all these grenades that are now like in a slight moment of 0G?
Well, if I'm stopping that suddenly, they're flying out of my hands. I'm going, oh, what the fuck? As they go up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to probably splat against the ceiling and then slam onto the deck as the inertia swaps. And they'll comically land on my head because the pins are all still in.
So
they'll like
you
plunk, plunk.
Yeah, hit the ceiling and then slam down on the floor as the wind catches up, and it's fairly violent. But for the operator who's sitting strapped into the thing, you're perfectly fine. Just a bit of a stomach lurch. Meanwhile, for Notch, it's like, oh, sort of as the ping, 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 ping. I want you to make an agility check. Considering how the group is role-playing themselves, I'll give you a +10 bonus on it, because this is probably not the first time something like this has happened. Just an agility bonus to try and catch one of the grenades, make sure the pin doesn't come out of it.
Hang on, I gotta double check my agility really quick. I think it was, yeah.
So just there. Do you want to spend a fate point to make sure you get one success on that?
Well, they're not going to blow up. They're Imperial frag grenades, and the pins are still in all of them. They're going to give me a bang, and they're going to give me a bang and black eye, but they're not going to go. The Space Marines carry these things on their hips while they're knife-fighting Tyranids, and they don't blow up.
True. So all of you here in the back, as as Notch lands on the ground, all these grenades.
Ah, shit! Ow, damn it! Dang it!
As all the crack grenades land on him at fairly high force, bruises and welts coming up on his skin. And then the grenades all rolling around the inside of the Chimera. So
that's the safest place for them to be.
Yeah.
So all of you have landed on the ground. Here's how this is going to work. You have a choice based on that. We're going to do like maybe 2, maybe 3 based on time. There are 3 types of terrain as you step outside into no man's land. There's sets of rolling mountainous foothills. There's large sections of grassland, fairly open, and then there's lush jungles all around here in the 120 kilometers from where you are to the front line. Some of them are going to be easier to navigate, so you don't get lost. But if they're easier to navigate, it's probably going to be harder for you to hide, even with the fantastic bush and vegetation that's surrounding your tank.
The shrubbery.
The shrubbery.
Which is raining down around us.
It did. Yep. We'll say, for comedy's sake, it did.
Glued it on.
It's just a trail of leaves.
So, Sergeant, you see the rest of your company all land in their drop chutes and their grab chutes, be pulled back inside their backpacks, pulling out their last carbines and making ready to head out. So, you can choose to go on grassland or forest or mountain. Each of them is going to have a navigate modifier, because you're going to need to roll a navigation. Whoever has surface navigate as a trained skill is going to need to navigate people through. And there's going to be a stealth modifier that we're going to do a group roll for. The group roll for, we're going to have all of you be trained in stealth for the purposes of this.
Oh, thank God.
In case you're not, because you're drop troops and you're supposed to be behind the line, so you can all be trained in stealth for this. If you get more successes than failures on the stealth, everything's kosher. If you get more failures than successes on the stealth, I'm going to start tracking that, because that means the enemy is seeing you as you're traversing. So, where do you guys want to go in this first section? Do you want to travel on grassland, which gives you a plus 20 navigate modifier, but a minus 10 to your stealth? Or do you want to travel in forest, which gives you a plus 10 navigate modifier, and a plus 20 stealth? So not as easy to navigate, but a hell of a lot easier to hide in. Or the mountainous range, which is going to be the most direct approach, but it gives no modifiers either way, positive or negative. So,
I think that with a tank, it makes the most sense, logistically speaking, to go through the plains.
The grasslands?
True. Yeah, the grasslands, because it wouldn't make sense to drive a tank through a forest. That would be crazy talk.
Sir, may I make an argument for the forest?
Because I don't think you know this.
Okay.
There's a dozer blade on your tank.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got a shovel in the front.
Yeah, I argued for that one.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Your operator got that attached before you left.
Well, I didn't see the tank just ejected from the goddamn ship. Like, I haven't had a chance to get anything.
The bad news is, sir, they will know where we've gone on account of the fact that we're going to plow a path through the trees.
Not every tree.
Yeah, there'll still be a lot of
It's the tank treads that'll give us away. So if there's patrols behind us, they may be... Yeah, we have a tank!
Now, the only problem I see with the jungle is the fact that there might be indigenous life forms in there, like bugs, that may perhaps drain our blood. Because whatever sort of bug life was in here was in a warp storm for the better part of... GM, how many years was that?
About 400.
400 years? I don't know what that did to the line of evolution on that one. But...
Okay.
But
so you're saying forest.
I'm saying forest because we're in a tank. And I also have finally resecured all the grenades.
They're like duct taped along the inside of the shell.
They are, yeah.
Now, Doctrine dictates that we have a infantry screen protecting the tank, which allows us to have far more sensors than just the tank viewports.
Do you have any? Do any of you have anything in your equipment that you could give your infantry people to scan while you're moving?
I have a respirator.
We all have respirators, son.
Auspex.
Yeah, I've got my Auspex.
Okay. You want to give that to some of your regiment, to a member of your regiment who's going to be guarding the tank as you move through?
No, they're not good enough.
Okay. You can use it.
This is Emperor Blessed technology, boy.
All right. So you're going to be rolling that in case something happens. We only will need that if you fail your stealth modifier. So, first and foremost, who wants for this first leg of the trip to roll the navigate surface?
That would be... What skill would that
Who
be?
has navigate surface?
Yep, as a skill.
I do! Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to leave that to you, sir.
But my intelligence is 25.
I've got operate surface.
I also have operate service under agility for 33. Is it navigate or operate?
It's navigate. Operate would be to drive the tank. So you both have a vague idea of where things are going, but you can also operate it, perhaps with not as much skill as the operator, but...
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, so you're doing this just to confirm, Sergeant. Are we moving in forests?
Yeah, we'll move through the forest.
Okay, so gain whatever bonuses you have, Notch. Gain a plus 10 to the navigate on top of those.
That will help us extensively.
Okay.
Yes!
One success. Wonderful.
Well, it's
all right.
335. That's legitimately like 3 degrees of success.
Where are we? What I miss? Oh, 3. Oh, yeah, that is 3. It's only said 1 success. Sorry. Okay, all right, yes. So you got 3 degrees of success. So you have a pretty solid idea where you're going. You can picture the map in your head from the mission briefing, and you start moving through, dozer blade cutting down trees, like ruining local fauna and wildlife.
Pushing down trees.
Yeah, pushing down trees.
Strategically deforesting for the purposes of fire prevention.
Yes, I like this.
Don't be that
Imperial
guy.
fire, the Emperor's own fire protection.
We're
reclaiming this forest in the name of the Imperium, and we're doing it any way we can see fit.
All right, all of you, I want you to make a stealth roll. Because you're more leading your unit in stealth, this can be either an agility-based test or an intelligence-based test, whichever is higher that you prefer to use. But it's still stealth. This is basically a group stealth test to ensure that you're moving through without impediment or without being spotted.
Okay.
And is there a modifier to the stealth?
Nope. Actually, sorry. Yes, there is. Because you're going through forest, it's a plus 20.
Oh, that makes that much better.
Right.
And when we're untrained, it's minus 10, right?
You are all trained in stealth. You're Elysian drop troopers.
Okay.
Success.
Should we check that off on our sheet because it's not checked?
You
off
should.
on
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Agility. So
not Elysian drop troopers, but you're drop troopers.
40, 50,
Yeah, I know. Elysian drop troopers are like elite of elite.
Elite of elite drop troopers. Yes.
All right, mine was a 47 under 58.
Beautiful. So that's 1 success.
Yay.
3.9 degrees of success.
Okay, done.
I rolled a 23 under 62.
Okay, beautiful.
72 over 43 was my roll.
Okay, so that's 1 failure. That's fine. But combined, we now have 4 degrees of success to, I think, 2 degrees of failure.
Yes, 3 degrees of failure.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty. And...
Actually, yes, it is actually 2 by virtue of 1 number.
And Sergeant?
Sorry, I got 1 degree of success.
Okay. So more degrees of success than degrees of failure. So you make your way through the forest without concern. You don't see any enemies popping up on the auspex, and you successfully stayed off of comms. So you've made it through the first leg of the journey. Next leg of the journey, though, we'll do that one more time. We'll do the navigate first before we do the stealth. So I want another navigate test from Mr. Notch, please.
Sure.
Still from forest for now.
Yeah.
30. I'm gonna try to get my accent locked in. It's gonna be a 35. No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So So
We're going
as
back
you
to the
move
landing
through, as you move out, we'll say that you move through the first section, the first like 30 kilometers, and ran into a large section of flooded river. So you had to move up, find a ford, and make your way across the ford, and then make your way back down. And on the way of making your way back down, Notch got a little lost. So you're gonna have to take some time, use the auspex, and re-get your bearings. While you're doing that, anyone who is trained or untrained in survival, if you're untrained in survival, the auspex just be like, what the fuck? Monkey with 5 arms reaches down and tries to like grab the auspex from you.
I point my flamer at it. Why with you now? Why with you?
Throws crap at you while it runs away, jumping from branch to branch.
Like a little toot of the flame. Just go.
This little.
Yeah.
So all of you can make a survival roll while you're getting your bearings back. If you're trained, it's normal. If you're untrained, it's a basic skill, so that means you can still roll. It's just you're trying to get under half of your characteristic rather than your full characteristic.
Ooh, okay. So didn't know I was going to need a calculator.
Sorry, it's round down.
Good.
Got it.
Got it? Okay. Alright, so that's at least one of you. So the others are?
What was the roll again?
Survival.
Survival. Okay.
And again, if you're not trained in it, it's a basic skill, so you just need to roll half. So Tom fails by just a touch.
Alright. This I got to roll under a 19.
Rathgar fails by just a touch.
Well,
Tom,
I did not roll under a
dice
19.
rolling calculation are you using for this, man?
I'm just typing it in.
Just use the greater than, just use the less than sign.
Oh, but that doesn't tell me how many degrees of success or failure.
You would just math it.
Fine. I'm lazy. Think of it for me.
Just subtract it,
Just
you monkey.
math it, man.
Just apply your maths.
Fucking, we took the same fucking math classes in high school, you schmuck. Just do the math.
Deep lore.
Lazy.
Deep lore.
Do the math.
Lore emoji. Lore emoji. Same high school. Lore emoji.
Okay, I also failed.
You also failed, and Sloan, is that a fail for you?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
Certainly.
One of you succeeded, which means you didn't get perhaps as much information, but
Okay.
So while you were trying to sort yourself out, we'll say that Notch is exploring a little further than the rest of you to try and find their bearings. You see a section actually well ahead of your group, so it can't be your Chimera's tracks, but you see a section of Chimera tracks that are leading off in a direction. You don't know if it's the direction to the enemy line yet, but it's leading off in a direction that goes well past your area of vision, like another half kilometer. You start losing track. It just looks like forested terrain, but it looks like Chimera tracks, and you see nothing else around it but the Chimera tracks.
All right,
Oh no.
As I have innate knowledge of chaos, because I hate them,
Mhm.
there is a surefire way to tell whether or not this is a chaos vehicle.
Okay, what is that?
Are there skulls marks on the track marks?
Oh my god.
That's clever. I like it.
Imperial man, skull center face. Chaos,
You know what?
spikes and skulls everywhere. If they look
Everywhere.
like shitty, spiky, skull-covered tracks, we know it's chaos.
You know what? I'll
They
give that to
do
you.
love that shit, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that
their
to you.
whole aesthetic.
No, there is but an Emperor's blessed regularity to the skulls
Right.
that you see on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I go back and report it. Do I find, considering everyone failed their survival rolls, do I all find them covered in leeches?
Like a
You know
Wes
what? That
Anderson
sounds
movie.
amazing. Yes, you find them covered in leeches, but these particular leeches have multiple mouths.
Yeah. It's numbing so they
Screaming
don't know
running
it.
in
Like one's on their forehead and shit.
One's on their forehead, yep.
I just go up and hold on. I hold the flamer and I just burn it off. Like it's.
Oh, you're just heating up the flavor and just touching it to the leech.
Just like, report.
Hold still, dang it.
I'm digging through the cargo on the Chimera, looking for the ration packs for the little tiny thing of salt to get these things off of us. Okay, I found 15 single-serving packets of salt. Everybody, we're gonna have to share.
Passed out.
I know notice the leeches and just like
Rathgar has seen this. We'll say Rathgar is just really like salt, and he's like, "Ooh, salt!" And he stands up, and his back is just covered in leeches.
Oh,
what's wrong, guys? What's wrong?
You feeling fake, buddy?
Is there someone behind me? I turn around.
You turn around, and all of you just see this whole pack of leeches. And disturbingly enough, a few of the leeches actually like remove their teeth from his back and look at you and go, and immediately go back and start biting his back.
Just gonna
they're semi-sentient.
Flame them. Just slow burn.
So,
wow. I hope you don't like back hair.
So, as you do you take them to the tracks? Not as they are removing leeches from their back.
Yeah, I'm just taking the leeches off of them and I'm giving them the information.
Okay, all right. So, Sergeant, what would you like to do with this new information? Continue on, or follow these tracks?
Do I see if they turn in any one direction?
Yeah, we'll say that they don't veer wildly. It's like they're moving. It's a predictable turn. They're basically moving through similar to as you are through the train. It's not like they're erratically changing direction due to battle or anything of the sort that you can see.
Does this chimera that we're following also have a dozer blade, possibly?
We'll say this one does not.
No? Oh. I thought you were very slyly hinting that we were following our own tracks.
Oh, no.
I was like, really?
Clever, fair enough. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll follow them, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. And the Chimera's got a weapon, doesn't it?
Yes, Chimera's. Yeah.
Did we load it?
It's got a gun, right?
Yep, it does.
It does have a... Yeah, it has a turret.
Yeah, that's not the problem, is whether or not it has a turret. The question is if we have the ammo for the turret.
Yeah, I would say probably. Maybe not a lot, but...
You do. We'll say you do, yes.
Can I be sitting in that turret?
You can't be sitting in a heavy gunner turret. That's fine.
Heavy gun.
Yes, that's fine.
To your heart, man.
If it makes you happy, you can be in the turret.
Hey, so Tom, pick a weapon. You get a multi-laser, heavy bolter, heavy flamer, or autocannon.
Ooh.
What sound cooler to you?
The first one was the multi-laser. Multi-laser, yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you
they're pretty dope.
Thank you, Sergeant, for sending all those stats. All right.
Yeah, I'll send that to you, Tom.
So the tracks are not hard to follow, but as you are moving through the forest, your dozer blade clearing things along the way, you eventually come to a pretty grisly sight. As you are, where are we? Where's my notes? There they are. Okay. Before you, as you make your way through the forest and out into a small clearing, before you lays battered and broken remains of a Chimera APC. The Chimera is split down the middle, two halves sunk deep into the mud. Along the breach, the metal is twisted and corroded in spots, blackened in others, and there's corpses of guardsmen that litter the area. Some of them in pieces, others still clutching their weapons. It's a really grisly sight, and made all the more disturbing because of their faces. Some of their faces are permanently etched in death in marks of horror, like abject terror before they die. Some of them in shock and surprise. Others look almost weird. There's one body in particular that seems to have been laughing and guffawing. His smile etched in a permanent rictus of before he dies. or before he died. It's a whole mixture of them among the different bodies.
Do they smell like anything?
Make an awareness test. I'll give you a plus 20 on it.
Well,
I know it's a weird question to ask.
Nope,
but
do you mean they as in all of them, or particular ones?
like just this area, does it have a particular scent? Like
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Like beyond like the normal. If they're all dead, it's gonna smell like corpses and stuff. But like,
Which it definitely does. It smells. It has the cloying, disgusting scent of death and decay.
Oddly enough, Chaos has a particular scent. It's like Axe body spray mixed with matches.
Wow.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Sure,
is this weird or is this supernatural? You know.
Yeah.
I do not make that roll.
Okay, there is a particular acrid sort of smell here, but you can't quite place it because it's mixing too much with the decomposition, the cloying scent of decomposition and burning metal. It's hard to pick out.
Can we roll to try, just so we can give that information to him?
Absolutely, yeah. Yep.
All right, so just straight up perception, 32?
Yep.
Unless you have points in awareness, which I do.
Unless you have points in awareness, in which case you would get additional points for awareness.
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay. A success for Notch.
3 degrees.
3 degrees, nice, very nice.
Oh, you rolled a 1. Nice job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want everybody to throw down a roll on this? Or?
Yep, go ahead, and I'll give you some other rolls based on what you see.
That is under a 38, so I've got 3 degrees as well.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice, guys. Good job.
Hey,
Good job.
I'm just going to feed
Okay.
back the information, man.
Okay. So, a few things that you do see that do bother you. The smell, Notch and Sloan, we'll say Sloan, maybe it comes from some readouts, some Auspex scans, actually. Whereas for Notch, you're exploring the bodies, some of the ones that are a little more twisted toward strange ecstasy and happiness at the just before they die. The wounds themselves seem to have a strange greenish pus that's all around them. In their wounds, there's a mixture of different types of mixture of different types of weapons. Some bladed weapons, some small incision-like bullet fire, not explosive and not laser, but almost like incisions, as well as blade cuts. And on the blade cuts, you see there's the acrid smell you're able to pinpoint as coming off of those blade cuts. Specifically on the ones that have a weird, happy, and ecstatic look to their faces when they die, all the bodies have various amounts of blade cuts that have this weird greenish pus that's growing around them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the other thing that you see between the two of you, we'll say that it's Sloan. Your Auspex pings on an Imperial signal underneath the wreckage of the Chimera. Just a ping.
Hey,
ping,
there it is.
Ping, ping.
The Motorola thing.
Sergeant, I picked something up on the Auspex.
Where's it coming from?
Friendly, from the looks of it, or at least I'm not gonna make that judgment.
Sorry, Mike. What's your character's name again?
Notch.
All right, yeah. Okay, I'm like, can you take Notch and check out that Chimera transport? We need to secure this area.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
So the two of you make your way toward the armored transport. Notch, do you point out your findings to the rest of the squad? Okay. So I don't think any of you are trained in Forbidden Lore Xenos, which means it's going to be half your intelligence. But all of you, since Notch was able to succeed so high on his awareness roll, it unlocked the ability for you to make this lore roll. So all of you, while they're headed toward the wreckage, can make an intelligence roll at half for Forbidden Lore Xenos. Let me know what successes you get.
This is under 20.
We came in here as dumbasses. Devin, what I'm having, am I Rounding down or rounding up?
Rounding down. Rounding down.
That sounds about right. This is the Imperium of shit.
Yep, it's.
Wow.
Notch is super distracted by all this smiling.
Notch don't know shit about
Notch
chaos.
don't know shit.
Yeah, we don't know. I've never seen anything like this.
So that's a negative for all of you. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. The only thing that you can get out of this disturbing scene is that the weapons are not of standard Imperial issue, which raises all of on the bodies. The weaponry that was used to kill these guardsmen is not standard Imperial issue, which raises all of your heckles a little, because you were told that the enemy in this area, you're fighting basically a renegade Astra Militarum unit. But none of these weapons are of Imperial make. The best you can tell. But you do find, Notch, as you and Sloan are exploring the wreckage using the Auspex, you find a small data slate in the wreckage. You have to pull aside some armor plates and that sort of thing. But yeah, the split in half Chimera, you find a data slate inside of it.
There, not there, there.
There.
All right, I'll take it out.
Okay.
It's turning into an Australian accent. Jesus Christ.
It's traveling, isn't it?
Fucking accent's like a street crime. Anyway,
Okay,
I take it
cleared
out
his throat
and
from
I
earlier.
kind of give it one of those idiot kind of wipes, like the gore off of it, and I hand it over to the commander.
Okay. All right. Sloan, you can make a tech use roll since you're basically walking over there and showing him how to turn it on.
I think he knows how to use a data slate, but if you need anything further than that...
Exactly.
I have a tech use of nothing, so my intelligence is currently 12 to turn on a data slate.
Well, I've got a 51.
That would be
flat.
far better.
So, yeah.
That would be.
Sarge, you want me to tinker?
Try to get that open. The rest of us, I'm gonna have the rest of the regiment spread out, or the rest of the squad spread out, and try to recover some resources from these poor folks.
So as the rest of the squad spreads out, what was your original score? Because I'm curious, even if this is a routine test for you, what that would have been. What's your intelligence stat?
My intelligence stat is 41.
So even as a routine test, that would not have been enough. Okay, so
and I had a plus 10 from tech use on top of that. So
that would have been 64, 54, 44, and it's 41. So no, yeah,
nope.
Okay.
You know, I'm just gonna try to see if I can do it. Because by some miracle, if I roll low enough on this stupid 12.
Oh no, ye old password is password.
Ye old password is password. So the only thing you're able to pull up is a mission log. Mission log 512-0132. Unauthorized access to this mission log is a crime against the Imperium, and the punishment shall be death. Do you wish to continue? Big yes, no button. Big no button. What do you push?
Of course the yes. There's no commissar. Yes.
Every data slate says this.
When you log it on, it says that.
Sign into Windows means death.
What's got an ordnance record for replacing the toilet paper and it said it meant death?
Do you agree to the end user agreement?
I had a credit for every machine that threatened death on me per day. I swear to God, it'd be red.
We never would have gotten away from the Necrons.
I'd be a rogue trader.
Rogue trader. You press yes, and a log begins to scroll. It is week 3 of our foray into Severan dominant territory. Minimal casualties, food and fuel reserves nominal. Still no sign of our target, but our most recent recon has established the movements of a regular supply convoy that is likely refitting the general's base in the mountain. While we do not know the schedule of the convoy, our trackers have mapped what we believe to be its route, and we are simply waiting for its next appearance. We will ambush the convoy, use it to pinpoint the general's location, eliminate him, and return to the regiment as heroes. The Emperor protects! End of log.
Oh, these were the guys they sent in before us.
Yep. Who are now littering the ground.
Well, won't be needing that ammo anymore.
The rest of the random soldier. Requisition, sir? And he picks up an ammo, like a couple of packs of laser stocks.
Yep, just pop all that in the Chimera. We gotta roll this
Yes,
place
sir.
the death trap.
Sir, if I may, with that data slate,
Yep,
I
absolutely.
take the data slate and I just break it over my knee.
Why?
Because, hey, I've got a data slate. Also, that thing will remember that we logged into it without permission.
There could be one data slate.
Wait, are
Love
you
it.
saying that if the Inquisition finds that data slate, they will kill us?
Yes, so I'm going to bury it under some soft peat.
There's a broken trail of data slates between us and every destination.
Love it.
The end
All right,
user
so-
agreement is really aggressive in the Imperial.
Okay,
So
sure.
you now have before you continue on and before we do the stealth roll. I need two things. One, you got to report. One of your drop troop sergeant walks up to you. Sergeant, we only count 10 bodies. Standard Imperial protocol rollout is 15 for an APC accompaniment. Only 10 are accounted for.
That's
So 5 could be alive. I'll just have them do a cursory glance around the area to see if we can discover if foliage.
It's already been done, sir. There's a potential that we see some drag marks headed off, and he points in a direction.
Good God. Okay. My sunglasses go on.
Is that where the
Good
Auspex
God.
was
Puts on the
Good
glasses.
pointing? Was the Auspex pointing in that direction, or was it pointing to the data slate?
Pointing to the data slate.
Okay.
Are we going to try and get our boys back, or are we going to go on for the objective? Because we're kind of... The longer we're out here, the more we're likely to get
Call.
touched.
I mean,
Bushwhacked.
wouldn't the bad things be, like, to kill these guys, be over there?
Oh, where the target is.
Yeah, but if we rescue these guys, they know where the general is.
Good point. That's why you're the sergeant, and we just carry the grenades.
But I carry a rocket launcher.
That's just a grenade that's made it too. It's
That's just a grenade with a lot of velocity.
That's just a grenade that got to prom.
But I also have this heavy stubber.
That's just a
All right,
grenade that made it to trade school.
All right, boys, we're gonna rescue our lads, and we're gonna make sure that we get to this general before anything else happens.
All right,
Lock and load. Be careful. We don't know if these guys are still around.
Fire up the camera!
I need, since you've decided to actually beforehand camouflage your APC.
You're so generous.
It's one of those things like ambush is something that I wrote in my notes as possible as a choice. So you're doing your stealth. You're in the forest, so group stealth roll. Again, we're looking for number of degrees of success. And it's going to be plus 20 to your stealth. So all of you are trained plus 20. Make the roll. Tell me how many degrees of success you succeed or fail by, and we'll see how this works.
Okay, so
I fail.
How many
1
degrees?
degree of success.
1 degree of failure.
Okay, so even, Steven.
2 degrees of success.
Okay.
Hey, might come in clutch with the 3.
All right. So, all of you have found it that you're able to travel through the forest and manage with more degrees of success to follow the track to the supply to this supply convoy. And all of you come across two. You're on a slight raised hill, looking down a road valley, moving through, headed toward a far mountain. And you see two armored personnel carriers. You can't quite make out how many individuals are in each of the personnel carriers, with an accompaniment of 6 soldiers around the personnel carriers.
Okay.
And while you don't see the bodies of the Imperial Guard that were dragged away, the drag marks lead in this direction, or at least where this was before you caught up to it. So where they were potentially loaded on the personnel carriers. So they may be in one of the 2 personnel carriers. the guardsmen that you're looking for. But either way, there's 2 carriers, 6 soldiers around it. You have high ground because you succeeded on your stealth roll. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna kind of tap on the side of the hull and say, "Whoa, stop!" Give the command for the tank to stop. Does anybody have any binoculars? Magnoculars or something? Like, what are they called?
Well, couldn't we use the Auspex, sir?
I want to see if they're friendlies or not, son.
Yeah,
The Auspex does not show
Auspex.
that.
Just shows how many people they are and if it is indeed a tank or not.
Not you were going to say something?
I was going to ask what they're wearing, but we can't see from here. I'm trying to see if I've got anything that we could convert into. Respirators got glass in them. If we make them into a functional lens, we can magnify the command. Everyone's giving me that look. I'm going to sit there.
Sir, permission to just shoot them with a missile?
Crap, to shoot your own ally.
Not yet.
No, like, maybe? Hold on to that? Wait.
Not yet. I'd like... Okay, so you can, if you want, you can hop out and circumvent around to see if you can get a shot off on them, but don't fire till I get my command.
Okay. Do we have any communicators, sir?
You do. You have your Vox.
Oh. Okay. You're forgetting.
Well, no, we'll give you the signal to fire, you trust me.
Okay. So I'm gonna brace the missile launcher and just continuously be aiming at the convoy.
Okay. You're
with and which missile should I load? Frag or crack?
Take out their vehicle, so crack.
okay. So you leave the missile launcher, step away from the rest of your drop troop men to find an appropriate spot to get a good angle with your crack launcher. What else do we do?
Let's see.
The convoy is just moving along. People
can we
looking up, looking at it. You have bated breath for a moment as one of the soldiers looks up at the ridge line, doesn't seem to see you, and continues along with the couriers.
Okay.
It's the shrubs at work.
It's the thank God for the shrubs, I'm saying right now. He's the emperor for our shrubbery. Okay, so we're gonna do. So we got a turret mounted as the multi-laser. The hull mounted weapon we'll do is the heavy bolter.
Yeah,
and
right.
are we allowed to take a pintle mounted weapon as well?
If it allows it, yeah.
Storm bolter.
There you go.
Huzzah!
Okay, so
Everyone's
the storm bolter is in the command position.
The pintle weapon, yeah.
Yeah, the pintle weapon. Do I get control of the heavy bolter?
The hull weapon, the hull mounted weapon.
Yeah, the hull weapon. Or is there a second seat for a dedicated person for that?
Technically, a Chimera does have a driver and a gunner.
Yeah, it's a turret, driver, gunner.
Okay.
And then it can carry up to 12 other people plus wargear.
So I think the hull mount is under me.
It is.
The storm bolter was under Tom, but did you jump out to use your missile launcher?
It's got a pen 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll roll for a random other drop trooper who's able to use it, and I'll just roll up their stats.
Well, Mike's in there.
Mike is in there. Yeah, true. Mike can shoot it.
You want to use the turret, the multi-laser?
You know,
Jordan, you're in the command spot with the storm bolter, and then
is that the same thing that we got the stats for in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll fire it. I think I've got the best shot on the team too.
Yeah, it's fair. Multi-laser is basically a machine gun laser. It's pretty rad.
All right. So, Sergeant, what are we doing? Each of your men are in gunner positions.
Yeah, well, I can't tell if they're friendlies or not, so we're gonna move closer.
Okay. All right.
But I want everyone.
One that we'll do. Let's see. Who has the highest agility here? Since technically stealth's an agility roll.
Mine's 40.
Or intelligence, whichever stat someone's using for stealth.
I got agility 42.
42. Okay.
Nice.
Mine's only 33.
Okay. All right, then we'll have Rathgar roll it. I want you to make a stealth roll just for the unit as it's moving into position. And the tension mounts.
Oh, I fucked that up. I'm going to use a fate point.
Okay, go ahead. Mark it down one of your fate points and re-roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's 11. I still fucked up.
It's not so bad. But yeah, like we're that tank and like exiting a forest and like a clearing sort of thing. So we're getting pretty obvious.
Okay, so they're not going to be surprised, which means they're not going to be flat-footed, but you're still going to be able to get the first round of fire off. All right, so
okay.
Okay, they rolled pretty low in their initiative, so I'm pretty sure that each of you are going to get higher initiative than them. But okay, so you move into position, and unfortunately, we'll say the dozer blade hits a root and starts ripping up a tree as the tree falls down and half blocks their path, sliding down the mountainside. Rathgar almost gets taken out by this falling tree, but he's able to get out of the way as the armored personnel carriers come to a screeching halt, and the dominant soldiers start looking up at the ridge, taking cover behind their personnel carriers.
Tank fight.
Yes.
So we'll start with you. We'll start with you guys. Who has the? We'll just do by agility. So I believe Rathgar has the highest agility at 42.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, who's the next? So 30 to 40 agility. Who has so between 30 to 40? 36.
40.
40. Okay, so it's going to be Rathgar, and then the sergeant, and then Sloan, and then Notch, and then Sloan. Okay. Yeah. All right, Rathgar, what are you shooting?
Well, I'm going to be shooting the middle troop carrier.
Okay, there's two of them, so it's left or right.
Oh, okay. Which one is everyone kind of hiding behind for cover, or are they just kind of split between them?
They're split half and half between each.
Okay.
It basically both of them were in a convoy, so both of them stopped in front of each other, and the group just got behind them since they know that the attack's coming from the upper ridge, or at least they think it's coming from the ridge on their flank. You happen to be in front of them, in a flanking position.
So, yeah.
Could I hit the troop side?
I'm sorry?
Could I hit them from the troop side where they're cowering?
I think of the front carrier you could. The back carrier and the troops. The carrier's in the way. I'll say the front one you could.
Okay.
Yeah. So the front carrier is a better choice because you make sure they can't escape too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can I have been aiming this whole time?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so there would have been a full aim action, and then I'm going to use a standard single attack because it's a missile.
Okay.
That's a plus 30. That's a plus 30 to my roll.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll it.
Oof, that's pretty.
Yep.
All right.
That's 4 degrees of success.
4 degrees of success. Beautiful. All right. So roll. Yep. Go ahead.
No, I just have to look at the damage now.
Yep. Roll damage and re-roll any dice that are 4 or less, or under 4 is what I mean to say, because you got 4 degrees of success.
It's a 3d10 plus 10 explosive type.
Explosive type, and how much penetration?
8.
And are you aiming for the explosion of the troops, or are you hitting the carrier and then hoping that the splash gets the troops?
Splash. I'm hitting the carrier.
Okay. All right.
And it's concussive 3.
Oh, that also will. Okay, I need to roll toughness for them. Okay, give me a moment. Their toughness.
Okay, and so it's going to be 29 because I rolled a 3. I re-rolled a 5 for that.
It's going to be 29 damage.
29 damage.
Okay, all right. That actually hits its structure capacity. It's not blown up, but that beats the full armor in the front. It's front armor 29, so it the missile cracks in, and you hear resounding crack and explosion. The vehicle, having just come to a stop, is pushed back from the explosion, hitting in the front. A concussive blast resonates out, not knocking the troopers on their ass, but knocking them back a little bit. And since you've beaten the structure capacity of the front of the armor, it stops dead in its tracks, and with the front of its section caved in.
That's where the engine would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it has stopped dead in its tracks. It's banned for all intents and purposes. It's just a piece of terrain now.
Yeah.
And two of the three dominants failed their toughness save. So both of them are in pain, blood careening out of their ears as they're trying to crawl away from the of the explosion against the metal. One of them shaking itself clear, looking up. You can see Rathgar is where you are, and so trying to aim his lasgun back at you. Next will be the sergeant. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna get some orders, if that's okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm going to gently ask the multi-laser to be focused on troops.
No problem.
The heavy bolter that Dave has, I want you to put into the back of that the other chimera, the second one.
Chimera. Yep.
Yeah. Because the heavy bolter has the highest penetration of any weapon that we have on deck right now, so I want to see if we can punch through that rear armor. It's super weak in the back, so
that's why it's in the tank killer position.
And then my hull-mounted weapon, the pintle is going to be. I'm going to be aiming for troops as well. So.
Okay. All right. So you do yours first. You aim for the troops. Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to use my ballistic skill. I'm assuming.
It's ballistic skill, and what weapon are you using? Sorry.
Storm bolter.
The storm bolter. So I think what is its slash? So there should be S/something/something. For its rate of fire?
S/2/4.
Okay, so you can hit with a maximum of 2 of the heavy bolter rounds. Or the heavy
because we are moving.
Yeah.
Stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll my ballistic skill.
Yep, so that should be a +10 because you're going on semi-auto.
Yeah. Roll 1d100. My ballistic skill is 42, so I need to get under 52.
Okay, go ahead.
I did. Fumbled it hard.
Okay, alright. And I don't think you have any more fate points. Have you used your fate point yet this session? You did?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you don't have a fate point to re-roll that. So, so you fire off the gun. Several of the troops are able to actually take cover behind the rear personnel carrier, and they just ping off the rear and side armor of the personnel carrier in the valley. None of the soldiers take any kind of damage from that, and we'll move on to Notch and then Sloan.
Haha, joke's on you. I have my weapons roll. Damn it. Okay. I had it here.
What is that?
That is his weapon roll, but it's not actually. He didn't type roll before,
I did not.
D100.
So I just wrote.
So my basically just pulled his cock out and slammed a D100 on the table.
Well, doesn't
and
matter. I got it anyway. Y'all can shut up. I'm looking for
Boom. You need to roll that. Oh, okay. But he still succeeded. All right.
That's
and
the
you're doing
important thing.
against. Yes.
2d10.
Yeah, that's the important
Damn it! All the hell! I did it twice.
+10? How are you getting a +10?
It's a las gun.
It's a multi-laser.
Oh, the multi-laser, yeah.
It's multi-laser.
This is the big turret mounted.
Pen to energy, Devin.
Okay. And you were sorry. The multi-laser was aiming at troops.
Troops.
Okay. All right.
Follow my commanders.
All right. And how many? Sorry, that was 21. And what's your skill? And just need to how many? The rate of fire on the multi-laser. What is its rate of fire?
The rate of
5.
fire is
5.
/nothing/nothing 5.
Oh, okay. So it's always full auto.
5. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got you're getting under 47. So that's 31, 41. You got 3. So you get. Oh, okay. So are you aiming? I can't remember. Are you aiming at the front or the back guys? So there's 2 in the front who are crawling away and 1 left, and then 3 who are still taking cover behind the rear one. So which of the 2 are
cover? And it offends me. Let's take it.
Okay, all right. And since you got 3 degrees of success, that means you got 3 successful shots off on the multi-laser. How do you want to split that? 1 each, or are you grouping them at all?
Can I just kind of spray the general area?
Spray the general area, so it's going to be 1 each. That's fine.
And it's
all right.
sort of to whom it may concern.
It's a to whom it may concern. All right, let's grab the dominant soldier. 10 wounds. Their armor is 4 all around. That's 14. You killed the first one. Go ahead and roll that damage 2 more times, sir.
Yeah.
So first laser incinerates that dominant soldier. Second one killed, and third one.
You could just push up on the keyboard.
I've been pushing up and it's not working. Leave me alone. They're all dead.
Do the maths.
Do.
So the 3 multi-lasers very efficiently notch 1, 2, 3. As they incinerated, the multi-laser kills all 3 of them, leaving just the APC on its own. Very nicely done. And Sloan, you're next.
All right, so I'm going to be taking the heavy bolter, and just peppering the second APC. Its rate of fire is blank 6, so
that's 6. That means that you can land a maximum of 6 shots based on the degrees of success of your roll.
All right, so
you're doing full auto, which is a plus 20, by the way.
All right. Oh, on my weapon skill?
On your ballistic skill.
Oh, okay. So I've got a 41 on my ballistics, so that's now
61.
61.
Yeah.
Any other bonuses to that?
Nope, it's just that, and it's just basically the higher. The bonus gives you more bullets to hit, but it also uses up your ammo faster. So
there you go. 25 under 61.
25, 35, 45, 55. So 4 degrees of success.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 4 shots, and you're going against the. Actually, no. You said you're targeting the tank, not the soldiers.
Yes.
Okay, so that means you got 4 degrees of success. So roll your damage dice and re-roll them until both of them are at least showing a 4.
Okay. So solid is bolt weapons, heavy bolter. Okay, 1d10 plus 8x.
Okay, so that is going to be re-roll that 1d10 until it's at least a 4.
Yeah, and it has pen 5.
Pen 5.
So,
yep.
Okay, so 1d10 plus 8. 1. Oh. All right, so that's a 5.
Yep.
That's a 7. That's a 6. That's a 5. Do I need to keep rolling?
Oh, that's okay. Stop there. Because I think you only got 4. Yeah, you got 4 of them. So 1. So the 25. But that wasn't a damage roll. These are your damage rolls. All right. So the 2 in the middle actually penetrate. The other ones don't. So it's or they just hit the armor.
What's the pen on this thing?
5. Oh shoot! Yes, you're right. So Isaiah, what's its pen? 5, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so actually then, pull up my notes again. Rear armor. Okay, they do actually. They do. All of them do penetrate. So let me just do some quick math here. So it's 15 plus 5, 18, and
that's what you like to see.
5. Just looking at the math for all of it. Okay, I need you to roll 1 more d10 for me. As we'll say it's around the third it's around the third shot that hits, and you hear metal tear as an explosion hits inside. The third one goes through and clearly hits an engine part, and you start to hear the engine as it's beginning to explode.
Is it a D10 plus 8?
Nope, it's just a D10. This is going to be the explosion area.
5.
5. So in this first fusillade attack, crack missile coming in, caving in the front of the front APC, knocking a few of the dominant soldiers down. The weapon, the multi laser gunning down the 3 in the rear, and then the heavy bolter engaging into the back and causing an explosion inside the APC. That explosion blows up the APC, and we'll say. Killing the others that are outside of it and knocking the front APC forward off of its where it's kicking upwards, and then goes at about a 45-degree angle, and then.
I hope our boys on the inside are okay.
So here's the thing.
Oh no! Why didn't we remember that?
I did.
I super didn't.
So here's what we're gonna do.
I hope our boys. Hang on. Is that what happens? Is just like that thing goes, and I just look at all of you. I hope our boys on the inside are okay, and the rest of you all go real pale.
As all of you sort of take in over Vox. As all of you sort of take in instead over Vox, and like, there's a 50-50 chance that they're either in the one that just exploded or the one that was in the front. So we're going to have the sergeant determine that.
They're probably in the front, I would think.
Maybe.
Based on my complete lack of problem-solving skills.
All right, so we'll say if you win, Sergeant, in this high-low roll, they're in the front. So do you want high they're in the front or low they're in the front?
No, high.
Good luck, Jordan.
High they're in the front?
Yeah.
Oh, 99!
Oh, they're in the front!
Oh, so lucky.
So that explosion...
You know how lucky we are? Is I was about to roll 1d100 because I thought I had to do it, and then Devin did it, and he won. So thank God.
So the explosion caves in, kills off the remaining dominant soldiers, and caves in the front APC's rear door hatch, but it knocks all of the soldiers that were trapped on the inside, like out on the ground, and sort of like thrown to the front of the cab. As the group of you make your way down, there are no more, aside from the driver in the front one. So the driver's also dead in the back. The gunner's dead in the back. Whereas the driver and the gunner in the front get thrown out. And we'll say that, Rathgar, you see the two of them.
The front was caved in by my car.
Oh, yes, they're also dead. Okay. So...
But wouldn't they be bad guys if they're driving?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Okay, so there's no dead dominant soldiers left. It's just APCs, dominant soldiers in various degrees of existence and non-existence, and then the 5 soldiers that are now in various stage of concussed or broken bones or weltered bruising that are inside the APC, and you successfully rescue your brethren.
We're here to save you. Are you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Now, walk it off.
We're here to save you with high explosives.
As they sort of stumble all out, they stumble out of the carrier like, in various pains, some of them bones broken, others...
I can motion over them, check them, just for...
Are you okay?
Squad members to go and have a look.
The one medic that is assigned to your squad is looking over all of them, beginning to reset bones as the 4 of you can approach them and talk to them as need be. Like, Sergeant, thanks for the rescue. And there really wasn't a whole lot of armor protecting these guys because, again, they're the Thunderfucks, so they got like chainmail and hide and themselves. So they're all various states of tribal warriorness. Like,
Okay.
Now, there's no need to thank us, really.
They blink through you. Are you servants of the Stormlord, He Most High, sir?
You mean the Imperium, son?
The Stormlord, sir, yes. He Most High. The one with the big statue back at Epsilon. There is a statue to the Emperor, but the Emperor's holding a lightning bolt. So
hell yeah.
The Ecclesiarchy has, fused the two.
Imagine that. Okay, well, yeah, we are definitely servants of the Stormlord, and we're here to save you. We found your convoy back a couple kilometers.
Anyone else survive?
No. They're better off for it. We're here to rescue. We're here to rescue the general, right?
No, you're here to kill the
general.
Yeah, we're here to rescue the general.
From being alive.
From being alive. Rescue
We're here to
from the
save
pain
the
of
general
life.
from the general.
Will they know anything about the general?
Potentially, yeah.
Like,
because they've been serving here, fighting against the dominant for a while now.
Yeah, we're looking for their main man, the general. Do you know anything about what his whereabouts, possibly?
Potentially, yeah. None of us have been able to actually get inside the base in and of itself. But the oh no, what's the name of it? Sorry. But the Mother Mountain. She was the Mother Mountain and the old city that's there. At the base of the old city is where they've built up their encampment. They built it on top of ruins. So we can hazard a guess that there are ways to approach it. It's heavily guarded in the front, so we wouldn't recommend a frontal assault, but maybe going in at night, maybe scaling down the mountain. There are different ways that we can approach it. But we have a pretty good idea.
Maybe these guys can guide us there.
All 5 of them?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea where I am. Tell us where to go, at least.
We could strap one of them to the hood, like a deer we shot.
Several of the other soldiers just face palm and like, he's finally listened to you, sir.
What?
I forgot he was here.
Like, if you're going in, we want to go with you, sir.
Well, let's strap up, boys. We got some chores to do.
Okay. So
sunglasses go on.
You're given so I want Sergeant to make a lore tactics or lore tactical imperialis.
I do.
They're going to give you since you managed to save the tribe, they are going to give you a +20 to this roll. They're going to make it routine because they're very familiar with the terrain. If they had died, it would just be a normal roll, but you get a +20 because you saved them.
Huzzah. 100.
So it's lore tactics or tactica imperialis with a +20 roll, and then any other bonuses that you have.
I'm trained, so I don't have it. So it'd be 1d100. So it'd be my score.
Yeah, intelligence +20.
So if under 55.
Okay.
Not even close. Rolling like a demon today.
Wait,
okay, all right.
You have lore tactics trained.
I do.
Yeah. So it just means it's not half, but he rolled well over his own stat.
Like way over.
Way over.
Okay,
all right.
Well,
so I'll say of all the different options that they get that they give you, I'll leave it up to you. There could have been potentially more tactics that they could give you, but your choice is frontal assault, night assault, or scaling the mountain down.
Well, scaling the mountain down sounds like a good way to get more guardsmen, so I don't want to do that.
Might I make a suggestion, Sergeant?
Yeah?
Daytime assault, because if we fire our multi-las, it'll light us up like a Christmas tree at night.
Frontal assault it is, boy. Any other suggestions?
The Thunder War, the Thunderfucks are like, we are heavily outnumbered, sir, for frontal assault.
You might be. We have the Emperor.
Why wouldn't we do a drop down the mountain? I don't understand why. That seems like a good idea.
How are we going to take it down? How are we going to take it down the mountain? Tank.
What? Oh, it has to come?
Yes.
Yeah. It absolutely has to come.
I'm not parting with it.
No, we're getting it in the building if we need to. We're going to Halo 2 this thing into the
Look,
you drive the tank off the mountain and land it in the middle of the.
It's got an armor of many. We have an armor of flak jacket.
Well, yeah, but I mean, couldn't we just drive it off the mountain, like above the thing, and then with the grav chutes would take care of stuff?
Commander, can we do that?
You still have the grav chutes on it.
Oh, can we?
Hold on. I turned to the operator. Can we do that?
Yeah, give me 15 minutes. I'll strap them back on.
Can we Bo Duke it, sir, and just go right off the edge?
Oh my god.
Because here's the thing, sir. If we go down the mountain...
At night. This is beautiful.
That'll make
We're
noise.
doing all the plans at the same time.
Yeah.
Full frontal assault at night.
Off the mountain! Because here's
Off the mountain!
If we go slow down the mountain, they'll hear all the rubble and shale and rock.
They will.
But if we go up, whoa! They won't hear shit as we're landing.
I like this plan.
So,
I'm
plan
excited
is
to be a part of
drive
it.
tank at near max speed off mountain. Let tank drop. Engage grav chutes. Middle of the night. Crash it into the middle of the base. Unload guns. Have fun. That is mission. That is
Step 7, profit.
Yes, that is absolutely the plan.
Okay. Since it's a
Sir, was my idea good?
You accidentally had a good idea, soldier.
yeah, several of your squad are like,
They're all like,
pat your back and like and cheer for the emperor. Oh my god. Okay.
Devin, it's the four of us. You knew this was how this was going to end. It's
a
a miracle we haven't used the rockets to get extra jump by towing us with the... Can we do that? Can we use the
No,
rockets
you
to
just
tow
ripped the
us?
missile in half.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Break the rope.
Since you're able to get to the top of the mountain to move things along, you're able to get to the top of the mountain. Since you have technical knock as a talent, Sloan, I'm not even going to make you roll it. It's routine to reset grav chutes. So that's it. Just as all the grav chutes get pulled back in for the and strapped to the Chimera. So since you're getting a bird's eye view down at night into the enemy base. It won't be a full +20, it'll be just a +10 now, but Sergeant, I'm going to give you one more roll to try and get a lay of the land that's here. Because there's like guard towers, but there's like 4 other buildings in here. So I'll give you one more roll. If anyone wants to assist them, they can, but if you're not trained... Actually, no, I don't think any of you are trained in Imperial tactics, right? So no, you can't help them.
So nothing about this is tactical or Imperial.
We aren't trained in logistics. We can't spell tactics.
Technically, we're taking a page out of the Space Marine book.
Yeah, we are.
Doing a combat drop.
No, we are droppers. This is our...
This is what you do.
Yeah,
you are
true.
Imperial drop troops. You're just dropping a tank.
Okay, so what am I rolling?
It's a +10 instead of a +20 because it's harder to see at night.
Yeah.
And you have no magnoculars. So
Yeah. And I'm rolling what then?
It's going to be tactics, lower tactics to get lay of the land.
Okay, that's my intellect. So
And I'm going to help you with my auspex.
yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did poorly.
if you're helping with the auspex? That's a +20 to your roll because auspex is +20 to visual tests.
Hey.
Oh, it's still under. I'm sorry.
Can I give him
Oh,
my
okay.
fate point to reroll?
Okay, I'm going to give you.
Can I give
Well-
him my fate point for him to re-roll it?
You know what?
Because I want this to fucking happen.
Oh
Okay.
no! Hey, look, we're going off this mountain. That's
Regardless.
Oh, okay.
whether or not we actually make it to
This
where
isn't
we're
to make
supposed
it. This
to go
is basically a
question.
roll for where you're aiming to land.
That don't matter,
Yeah,
none.
exactly.
That don't matter at all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
This is a Chimera tank. Wherever it lands, that's where it is.
yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. So you can see the barracks and the guard tower. There is or you can see the guard tower. I mean, for the rest of it, just pulling up my notes here. Let's do. Okay. There is 3 other buildings. One that juts that's in this compound. One that juts up against the mountain. So you're basically at the mountain here. That is leading down. The Hive City actually is like reaching up into the sky above you. This mountain just continues up. You've wound your way up a route that you found in the mountain that you're about to drop down from, and soaring above you is the Hive City. Looking down, you have a wall that is encasing these ruins, and directly in front of the Hive City, sort of like at the back of the camp from where the guard towers are, is one building. There is a building immediately to the right of the guard towers, if you were to walk in, and then there's one sort of directly across from the building directly under you. Which building do you want to land on?
I like that plan. What's the most important one? What has the most?
Unfortunately, he didn't pass his tactics.
I see.
Roll,
I see.
So that's why I'm basically giving him locations. So the one that's right in front of you, the one that's at the one that's like doors are here, far end directly under you, sort of jutted up against the mountain. There's one that's sort of on the right hand side, and one that's on the left hand side, just inside the doors. Which of those three do you want to aim for?
Which one's got an antenna on it?
Actually, the very good. Make an awareness roll.
What?
Make an awareness roll. That's a very
great question.
That's a great question.
I've killed
Also,
enough
is it-
things in Metal Gear Solid 5 to know that the antenna is the important building.
Also, is it the farthest one from the gate?
Awareness?
Awareness.
Or, perception, just a base
Routine awareness roll.
Damn it, I'm untrained.
Plus 20.
Okay, so that's going to be half.
We all are.
Nope, no routine. So it's your full one with a plus 20. Okay. It's routine.
Yeah, it's
You're just looking for an antenna, and it's an Imperial building or an old renegade Imperial building, but it's still an Imperial building. So.
Nerds.
Okay.
Screw it.
Yep.
Fate point. No, I'm doing this. We're doing it again.
Okay, do it.
Damn it all to the Primaris!
Okay.
That's what happened to me. When I used
You
my fate
think
point too.
you think you see an antenna on the building directly below you?
It's actually a broom's right just against the wall.
All right,
You know
so
what?
look,
Let's do
on
it.
the off chance that we're wrong, we should pick another building to target when we land.
Well, we're gonna hit it running, so like this is gonna be fast and messy. I hope you
Because
guys know
here's the
that.
thing. If we land, we point the tank in one direction and we shoot our guns at
Yeah.
the other building. We're out of
Yeah.
buildings to assault.
Yeah, which is just one left at that point, isn't there?
Yeah.
And we're not here to rescue anybody. Let's do it.
Alright. So which one of you wants to describe this? I've been doing a lot of describing.
So, I have an idea. Can we just be like dropping
Get 'em in now,
grenades?
boy.
Can we just be dropping grenades as we fall?
No, because they'll move at the same speed we are, you clown.
No, after the graph shoots activate.
How about you get inside and strap it?
All right, I can describe this.
You can throw grenades as soon as we get on the floor.
Go ahead, Sloan. You
so-
drive off, and how does this look? How does this happen?
3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody piles in that wants to pile into the Chimera. We seal the hatches. We make sure everybody got their seatbelts on. The mercy of the Emperor written on every one of them, and we say our little liturgies to the machine spirit and to the Emperor for his protection.
Emperor
And then I
blesses.
just fucking floor it. The
Just
tank treads
crank it, bud.
just start eating dirt, and the skulls printed on them just with their maw just clawing deeper until they find purchase. And then everybody's lurched rearward as the tank goes forward. And we hit that last little lip, and boom! Everything goes slow. Everything goes slow motion. It's like them Duke brothers.
At it again.
And then gravity, because this is a multi-ton tank. And its surly bonds grab hold, and down we fall like dirty laundry.
Very surly bonds.
Halfway down, the automatic trips on the grav chutes spring into life. The chutes themselves, they open up their jets and they fire the white-hot fuel they have left within them, and it slows us down a little bit, but not enough to stop us from going through this building.
Gravity looked at us and said, "How dare you?"
All right, I want all of you to take, just from the fall, all of you take 7 wounds.
Oh,
Wow!
Pooh.
That hurts.
Pooh, I say, sir.
Hold on. That would be our takeaway 4 from armor, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you for remembering that. So it's actually 7 minus your 4 flak armor, and then the rest goes to wounds. As this building gets crushed underneath multi-ton of tank, as there is no less than a dozen screams that would have emanated were they not crushed by a tank.
This is okay. Hold on. I just want to point out this is the second D20 live in a row where we have solved a problem by dropping a vehicle on it.
I would like to point out that because we've landed inside the building, we technically have cover.
In custody.
As your guns rain out, Sloan, make a tech use roll, please, because you start to hear Vox chatter coming out, and this is still, it's Renegade, but it's still Imperial channels. So you just have to twist the dials, find the right channels as Vox chatter starts coming in. So go ahead and make a routine tech use plus 20.
Oh, okay. So that's 51, 61, 71.
Okay.
7 under 71.
So as you land and you're beginning to gun down the other soldiers in the buildings and dominant soldiers, there's about 60 of them in this base.
Well,
minus the 12 that you just landed on. That have all stood that are all running for different APCs and different work as the guns begin to do the Emperor's good works. You hear on the Vox, and you sort of while you're multitasking, gunning down heretics and cycling through the Vox chatter, you hear the general is alive. They fucking landed on the general. Yeah, he was sleeping. What the hell? It's like vengeance for Hekaton!
So I'm gonna take the controls and I'm doing a 1 forward, 1 back, and we're just gonna pirouette and turn into a blender. We make sure the job is done.
Oh man.
So as you're happily doing the Emperor's work and gunning down the rest of these heretics, having completed your primary mission and in the middle of completing your secondary mission, of killing off the rest of this contingent, you hear a high-pitched, screeching whine that fills the air, coming from the other side of the mountain. You initially think that it's your guns, but it's a distinct difference, like a mix between rusty gears groaning against each other and glass breaking, as the doors that are to the right of your tank, the doors that lead further into the mountain, the ancient hive city, begin to open.
We never figured out what cut that other tank in half, did we?
Oh no.
Mysteries.
As the doors begin to open, just as they open enough that it would be half of your chimera could fit through this space, but the full amount of whatever this thing is shoots out at just subsonic speed, cuts out over the city, and you see in front of you, careening out over the edge of the mountain and turning around at blinding speed, is a hover, looks like to be a hovering, almost like an ancient ship barge, made with points and secateurs and black armored warriors, all bedecked on the deck of it as this thing screeches out and starts turning on you.
Okay, question. Devin, question just from my frame of reference, because if it's a hovering craft, it's not like an Eldar ship, is it?
You're not familiar enough with an Eldar to know what Eldar ships are, but this more looks like a floating barge
like an Imperial style.
Nope, not at all. It is totally Xeno style.
Oh,
uh-oh.
Correct.
As these black armored warriors with spikes and uncomfortable shapes turn around on you, and a few more. It was 1, now it's 2, 3, 4 coming out of the hive city and starting to line up. And standing at the prow of one of them, you hear an open comms come out as this warrior takes off his helmet, revealing through your screens and monitors dark eyes, pale skin with tapered ears, and a cruel smile, licking his lip. What a truly unpleasant way to die.
To us
Thank you.
Oh.
What was it? What wasn't unpleasant?
Oh, what a truly unpleasant way to die for poor Hecaton. Thank you, though. I appreciate you doing work. I appreciate for doing my work for me. But now I think you need to die. As you stand there needing to decide whether you're going to stand your ground against these 4 floating barges bristling with guns, or now that you've completed the mission, running the fuck away to try and deliver this information to your commander of these 4 floating Dark Eldar barges that are now hovering above you.
I like that one. They're running away.
What kind of batteries were at the base?
What kind of batteries? What? Sorry?
What kind of assault batteries were at the base?
There are turrets along the walls, for sure.
Okay, because here's the thing. We were told not to break comms on the open channel because the enemy would know where we were.
Correct.
But we've squashed the enemy.
You have.
So that's irrelevant now.
Yes.
So because of our detection stuff, if we book it towards our wall, and we do it at a pace where they are a specific distance from us, the batteries can target them based on our radio signal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Because one of our little fella is not going to take down 4 Dark Eldar transports. That's not going to
sure as hell are going to try.
Tanky
business,
yeah.
But
are you staying to fight them, or are you running and trying to get back to your line?
All I can think of is like Monty Python's like, brave, brave Circus, slowly running away.
Oh, we're not slowly. The cruising speed of a Chimera is 70 kilometers an hour.
We're about to push it to 80 if we can.
Yeah, we're not we're not going slow. But what we're gonna do is make sure that we take a couple of those bastards with us if we can.
Flanking speed.
With the General Hecaton killed, you, instead of doing your roundy do-si-do that you were doing, you turn the treads going in one direction, kick up mounds of dirt, and the Chimera starts screaming off at it, being overclocked with its treads. As you make your way out of the base, the useless las fire of the surrounding remains of what used to be the Dominance forces, uselessly firing against the edge of the hull of your Chimera.
Yeah.
And
Can we radio command and just be like, just go talk to the boss?
You can radio command, yes.
Can I be in the gunner seat, trying to fire at the at the lead barge?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike, do you want your character to try to contact head command?
I can contact command. I figured you'd want to because I have a gun, or unless you want to swap spots, because my ballistics I think is better than yours.
You are in the command seat, Jordan.
Yeah.
So you would have the comms.
What is your ballistic skill?
My ballistics is 47.
47?
47.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you get on the pintle mount. I'm gonna radio it.
I've got a ballistic skill of 44.
Okay, you get on a gun then. There's 3 of them.
So Sloan is driving. The other 2 mounted on turret and pintle mounted weaponry.
Yeah.
And Sergeant, go ahead and radio.
So I'm gonna radio. This is the what was the name of our squad?
Beef Boys, 156 the Beeves.
156 Beeves. We're calling in the accomplishment of our mission. We're heading back. Our ingress is hot. Repeat, ingress is very hot.
Please kill it.
It's like contact received. Contact received. You're sorry. Just what is that? Okay. There we are.
Does the Imperial Guard ever want to maneuver against the Dark Eldar in the history of the Imperium? Oh my God, we have a chance.
Yeah, we can do it. We got to be careful though.
Okay. Message received. Message received. You have to make it incoming enemy. Make sure to stay out of our firing solution. Keep your radio pinged.
Radio's open, and then we start just gunning it.
I want to
So
pass
the
my
Chimera
back.
turns up its drive to as fast as it can go, continuing to cut your way through in the dozer blade, breaking down trees, pushing them aside, and basically creating this cascading kick up of dirt while guns are firing out the back and out the side, the turret firing at the Dark Eldar ships.
Yeah.
And as we close this session, we, with the mission of assassinating General Hecaton complete, the dominant forces having been killed, the Chimera somehow still alive and functional and driving back to base, while the 156 beeves, the beef boys, are trying to survive, making their way back to base with the Dark Eldar ships chasing after them.
Before we go, can I open the hatch and just turn my Auspex to camera mode? Want to get a selfie with them?
He's doing one of these like, hey!
Can you imagine? You see the Dark Elder in the background? They're like, they're like spears and shit. He's like,
And then I'm wondering if I can, like, Imperium email this to the section commander.
Like your flash is the Laz repeater going off beside you, going
It's the most badass thing you've ever seen. Just want to
half his face is like sunburnt
because of the
there. Who's driving?
It's like, who's driving this thing?
You can drive a tank, turned out as it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, open the hatch and you just drive with your hands down low.
And with an appropriately action-filled ending, and the tank having killed the primary mission objective, we will
Gravity killed him.
Gravity killed him. Yes, we'll end our session there of the beefy boys.
Sorry.
Having so far survived their very first adventure. So I want to thank the Legion for making it out for the live stream today. I want to thank my players for playing a hell of a fun and funny game. Mike, what do we have coming up?
Oh fuck! It's 2 weeks, right, for Sam?
I had my calendar open and then I closed it.
Yeah.
No.
It's in 2 weeks. It should be Lancer, and we got to move something around because of Easter.
Fucking Lancer, yeah.
In 2 weeks, we will have Lancer, with
Lancer.
part 2 of Dave's Lancer game that happened earlier this year, and then
So exciting.
We gotta double check the.
we have to double check our next game, which is going to be Angoria, but it will be happening sometime in April.
Yeah.
And to make Mike feel a little bit better about Lancer, we're going immediately into mech combat.
I only wanted it because I mounted 27 different mods to the front of my mech with my arc lance, so I want to show it off.
Well, tell you what, if you can remember you have all this stuff, we'll let you go first.
We'll let you go first.
There you go. Do you want that?
No,
I want
I want to go last. I want to go last and make it like an exclamation mark on the end of a sentence.
Okay, boy.
All right. So that ends our Only War session. Thank you for my players for coming out and making this game amazing. And thank you, Legion, for making it out. And we'll see you for our next game.
Bye,
Emperor bless beefy boys.
Emperor bless the beefy boys.
For the Emperor.
For the Emperor.